Common speaking mistakes in Dutch, part 2. In many cases, the letter L in Dutch is not pronounced as an L. At the end of a word, and often at the end of a syllable, it is pronounced as a W. For English, it's the W sound. For French, it's the first sound of oui. And for Polish people, it's the L with a stick through it. Heel, veel, label, vulpen, and more. Laat, laat, let, leed. Lid, lied, lot, lood. Lut, luut, loet. Leid, loud, leut, luid. How to make the Dutch back in the throat R. The technique of the back in the throat R is almost the same as making the G sound. The only thing is that the back of your tongue is much higher. And the goal is to make the area where you make the K sound go in waves. So make the G sound, put your tongue up, and then it will sound something like R, R, R. Let me know if it worked. How to make the Ö sound. The Ö sound is a diphthong, which means it goes from one sound to another. The two sounds are Ö and U. If you do Ö, U, Ö, U, you get Ö. One of the hardest sounds in Dutch is the ng. You can find it in many words, like ging, Engels, jongere. The most common mistake is to make it a g sound or to add a k sound behind it, which would make it sound like jongere or ging. But actually, this sound is exactly the same as the sound in the English word feeling. Go ahead, try it out and let me know how it goes. How to pronounce one of the hardest sounds in Dutch, the G. The G consists of two things. First is the sound, which you could make like a cat or something. That sound is friction in your throat. Second is the sound. This sound is harsh friction just below the area where you make the K sound. Put the and the together and you get a G. Let me know if it worked. If you have difficulty pronouncing the U sound, this video is for you. We're starting with the E sound from the word keep, and then with our jaw in the exact same position, we try to push our lips forward and down from hoeren to huren in 2 seconds. E. If you have difficulties pronouncing the ow sound in Dutch, this video is for you. Start with an A, then make the oo sound, and end with an English W sound, w. Ow. If you have difficulties pronouncing the Dutch I sound, this video is for you. First pronounce the English I sound from the word wine. And then instead of going from the A to the I, go from the E to the I. So not I, but E. When you've done that, there's only a little tweaking to do and then you got it perfectly. Did it work? Pronunciation differences in Flemish and Dutch. Graag.
Graag.
Meiden. Vrijdag.
Meiden. Vrijdag.
Lekker. Over.
Lekker. Over.
Werken. Waar.
Werken. Waar.
Hoe was je dag?
Hoe was die dag?
Okay, guys, something has been bothering me for years. So I would like to tell you all, it's Vincent van Gogh. This guy. You pronounce it as Vincent van Gogh. Not Van Gogh, Van Gogh. Then we also have Rembrandt van Rijn, who painted this. Piet Mondriaan, who painted stuff like this. Johannes Vermeer, who painted these famous ladies. Guys, something has been bothering me for years. It is not Vincent van Gogh. It is not Where Are You Van Going? No. It's Van Gogh. It's Vincent van Gogh. That is this guy. He also made this pretty famous painting, by the way. What is terribly mispronounced in your language? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, B, X, Y, Z. The alphabet in Dutch. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, B, X, Y, Z. The 5 most common speaking mistakes for beginners. Well, actually, they're solutions. The suffix ig you pronounce as ugh, not ich. The suffix lijk you most commonly pronounce as luk, not like. When a word ends with a d, you pronounce it as a t. Don't say well, say now. Also, don't say so, say dus. The difference between the a and the a. The a is usually pronounced for a longer time. The sound is different and the shape of your mouth is quite different. A, 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 a. These dots on a vowel in Dutch are called trema. But what do? They create a syllable border, which means that the following words are pronounced like this. Reunie instead of reunie. België instead of Belgie. Officiële instead of officiële. Common speaking mistakes in Dutch, part 3. When SCH is at the front of a word, we pronounce it as sche. Schaar, schoen, scheren. But when SCH is at the end of a word, we pronounce it as just an S. Telefonisch, historisch, typisch. We do not pronounce it as a sh. Just an S. Just an S. 3 letters that are often mispronounced in Dutch. The Dutch W we pronounce as b. We put our upper teeth on our lower lip and we put our voice in it. Waarom? B. Then the Dutch F does not have voice. We just let air flow between our upper teeth and our lower lip. F. Fles. The Dutch V is the same position as the Dutch F. It's just with voice and vibration. Van. How to make the eu sound. The eu sound is a diphthong, which means it goes from one sound to another. The 2 sounds are e and u. If you do u, you get eu. If you have difficulties pronouncing the eu, then this video is for you. We start with a sound that does not otherwise appear in Dutch. The sound is eh. From this sound we go to the u, and then we get au, au, au. Keep in mind that you need to be able to say both of these sounds perfectly in order to say a good au. So let's practice the first one. Did it help?